Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spirit of Beverly Bolden Tarot Card YouTube channel. Tonight I'm going to talk about this energy that I'm feeling. It may be the synergy of the 777 portal, but there's this electricity and this energy of a spark of resurrection, of hope that I am sensing in the air. And so I just want to hold on to that and do a 3-card reading. The cards might indicate that more is involved, but that's what I'm thinking about right now. I am setting the tone, setting the energy. I always do a card pull for myself before I do a collective card pull, because I don't want my message to be infused with that of the viewers. So I had a piece of myrrh on there for myself. I did some myrrh and I did some frankincense. And so what I've done now is I put a piece of ginger on there to just, as I mentioned once before, remove my spiritual input. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add some powdered shungite. And what the shungite is going to do is, it's also infused with silver. Silver is divine feminine and nurturing. And so I want to nurture this energy that I'm feeling. The shungite is going to reduce the EMFs and also the mobile, the cell phone and the Wi-Fi energy that's just coming from this electronic technological age that we are in. I'm going to remove anger and anxiety with this is the lemongrass 3-dimensional oil that I make in my company, Beverly's Beauty Blessings. And yeah, I'm just going to wave this around a bit. And wave the cards with it. The Herbal Astrology deck, the Body Tarot, and the Starseed Oracle deck. And then I'm going to just move this over, right? And let's begin. So since I'm going for 3 cards, I'll do 3 shuffles. So we got cat's claw, which is purification. I lost count, so I'm going to do one more. Okay. Freedom. Nice. So we got purification, the 9 of earth, which is freedom, and 9 is the last number because the next number is 10, which is 1 again. So that's completion. So we got purification, that's a 7. 25. We got 9 of Earth, which is freedom. And let's see what the star seed oracle deck says. 1. This is interesting. This is the second time that I lost count, and that's because subconsciously I'm trying to get things perfect. And that's what happens when you're trying to be a perfectionist. The human aspect comes in. And we are not perfect, but we are just right. So let's see what we got here. Perspective. That's it. Trying to be perfect is a perspective. It's a viewpoint, and it's just not something that is necessary. So, having said that, I want to say off the cuff, one of the messages is that in this new ascension, elevation that the collective is going through, one of the things that we are going to need to let go of is trying to be perfect, trying to not make a mistake. That is one of the aspects of purification at this stage of the game. A lot of times, trying to be perfect is what stops us from even trying. And once again, we are having a human experience, and so humans have flaws, and we have imperfections, and we trip up sometimes, and we misjudge and different things like that. And it's not that that's right or wrong, that's just part of the experience. So believe it or not, cleansing at this point in time is just doing and showing up. So let's see what the cat's claw has to say. Purification, upright, rewriting the story, connecting to heritage, belonging, worthiness, safety, connecting to your origins, DNA purification. Astrological ruler, Mars and Pluto, that's Scorpio, and Aries. Rewriting the story. Rewriting the story as in not trying to get things perfect. Connecting to heritage. Our ancestors, we know for certain that they did not do it perfect, but they still brought us to this point. Belonging, worthiness, safety. Connecting to your origins, connecting to the origin of being a human, DNA purification. Called una de gato in Spanish, cat's claw, has been used medicinally by Central and South American tribes for at least 2,000 years. The Ashaninka tribe in central Peru has the longest recorded history with the plant, using it to treat asthma, inflammations of the urinary tract, arthritis, bone pain, recovery from childbirth, and cancer. Other Peruvian indigenous tribes use it to treat diabetes, hemorrhages, menstrual irregularity, fevers, viruses, tumors, internal cleansing, and balancing the body. Modern scientific research has confirmed its effectiveness in treating asthma, upper respiratory infections, viral infections, wounds, environmental toxicity, poisoning, and so much more. A powerful immune stimulant. Cat's claw is ruled by the archetypal energy of Mars and its higher octave Pluto. So that's the energy of fighting. That's the energy of transformation by going into the dark aspects, or once again, the things that most polite society would not want to talk about, but that things that affect us all. It ignites many essential biological processes in the immune system, remedying many inflammatory diseases while rebalancing the body through purification, Mars, and renewal, Pluto. Like Mars, it stimulates to regulate, it confronts to purify, and it initiates to heal. And that's so appropriate because Aries is ruled solely by Mars, and Aries rules confrontation. Like if you want to initiate, a lot of times initiate a change. In the Bible, there's a quote from Jesus that said, "I did not come to bring peace, I came to bring a sword." So sometimes you have to, in order to heal, in order to get peace, you have to initiate confrontation with the agenda in mind to resolve a matter or once again heal. Herbs ruled by Mars are usually hot, stimulating, and dry. Hot and stimulating, that's Aries, being a fire sign, and once again ruling confrontation, that's stimulating. The guidance of this card, Cat's Claw, powerfully protects our sacred essence, our blood, and our DNA. Like the Black Panther, it is regarded as one of the mighty protectors of the sacred ways of the forest. Cat's Claw is here to is here today to help remove blockages, wounding, or trauma. Trying to be perfect, I'm just going to say it, especially for females, is something that we can sometimes be groomed to be, and it's a never-ending battle because once again, we're not born knowing. And then some of the people who were trying to teach us to be perfect or to get it just right didn't know what the hell they were doing to begin with. That's where you have the trauma that comes in. And so, rewriting the story of wounding, of trauma, but still connecting to the origins by confronting the patterns of behavior that were brought about through the conditioning of wounding and trauma is what this card represents. Energetically, Cat's Claw clears ancestral trauma, deeply assisting our healing as we rewrite our story. So by connecting to our origins in a way that confronts what no longer needs to be and initiate and bring in what is going to help remove the blockages, is going to bring about the purification. Like the energy of Black Panther, it roams through darkness with courage and curiosity to assist us in accessing the hidden light of truth. That's where the astrological ruler of Pluto, with regards or relation to this card, comes in. Roaming through darkness. Once again, Pluto is about going deep into the darkness to uncover and shed light on those things that are affecting the room. And it's covered. It's nobody's seeing it, but it's affecting things. It's creating havoc. It's creating blockages. It's allowing the the yesteryear, the wounds and the conditions of yesteryear that caused trauma to still manifest today in an adverse manner, accessing us and assist us in accessing the hidden light of truth. This is a reminder to take this time to befriend the silence of the dark void. Channel the gifts that your ancestors have provided. Know that your path is loved and supported by life. They made it here, and so we will make it here too and can go further because we have, by connecting to heritage, we have their gifts and their talents, right? It wasn't just that they brought us wounds and they brought us trauma, but they got here because they did something right. So this card is saying, like, you are the one who has received the torch and used that torch to discuss the things that they didn't have the ability to because of societal pressure. Some of them didn't have the heart to because their hearts were so hurt and so broken and just could not take any more pain. But you get the gist of it. We are built for this, and this is what I believe, this energy of just electricity is what it is that I'm feeling, that torch. So we have the 9 of earth, which is next. 9 being completion of earth. We are here as human beings, having completed yesteryear. And it's no longer necessary to be perfect, but just to use the tools that we have garnered through, if you will, numbers 1 through 8. That brought us to 9. That brought us to the creation of the completion, is what I meant to say. And thus, we are here. We are here at freedom. We are here at freedom. Keywords: comfort and beauty. My heart is full right now because my great-grandmother is coming into my essence right now. I don't know if you ever met a woman born 1897, but I did. I met my great-grandmother. And she was born in 1897, segregated Opelika, Alabama. And she slept with a rifle over her bed. And although in my baby pictures I see that she was smiling, she never smiled when I looked up at her when I would go down south to visit. And I just think about the fact that I am able to walk outside in the street and even to be able to do this tarot card reading. I have the luxury of freedom, comfort, and beauty. And if I have that luxury of freedom, then you, the viewer, have that, that luxury too. And so once again, I tap into her strength to have been able to make it this far through me. The arts are something precious to us all. If we did not have movies, theater, art, books, and music, the world would be a dull place to reside in. This card is superb for those worrying that they have to lose their artistic side in the pursuit of a wage that they can live on. It frees you up to pursue creativity because benefactors and patrons are around the corner. This does not mean you can suddenly become extravagant in your spending, merely that your needs will be met. So it may be time to crack out those paints or that violin. So what this card is saying is that part of removing the blockages brought about by the wounds and traumas of your ancestors is through creativity. As I said, we no longer have the restraints that they had. It's okay to not be grinding so hard, or to not think that just because you are now an adult that you can't, I'm going to say it again, whip out a coloring book. I got my Avengers coloring book behind me. Or take up painting again, or take up singing again, or take up whatever it is that brings you freedom. The other day I was making my gemstone creations, and time went by so quickly, and when I was finished I realized that I was so hyped. It gave me such excitement inside. Gave me like a charge, a joyful charge to be creating, and I lost track of time. It was a type of freedom that I was experiencing. The last card we have is perspective. Let's see what this says. The starseed inquiry is, how are you being called to change your perspective? None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. None of this trying to be human matters. When you get into your arts, or your music, or if you're a videographer, your movies, you're going to zoom out. That's, as I said, what happened to me when I was creating with my resins and things like that. I zoomed out of the issues that my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my father, and my mother went through. I zoomed out, and I was in my freedom. Not trying to be perfect, just doing what flowed naturally, what was in my DNA. That was the common ground that the card was talking about, that we all shared. We are all creative in our own right. But as we get older, we begin to feel like, oh, I can't play anymore. I can't do these things anymore. I got bills to pay. Those things are going to come and go regardless. It's not saying, as the card said, don't become extravagant and start only being creative, unless that's what you do to you make money, and it has been proven that that's going to be lucrative for you. But just to stop and chill through creation is a type of purification, is a way of confronting that hustle hard, gotta grind, darkness in the room that's preventing you from the light of freedom. So let's see what this says. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blanket vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective. Shift your point of view and zoom out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for our eventual extinction. I thought about having put the shungite on the charcoal to remove the 5G energy, the Wi-Fi, the mobile energy, when it says that we are setting ourselves up for our eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. A new perspective of not trying to be perfect, but a new perspective is needed to wake up and confront things in the dark that are perpetually and eventually going to hurt us if we don't speak on things that are not conducive to us as human beings. Because once again, as this God says, Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We get so caught up in our traumas and our wounds and not thinking of ways to recognize that we are free. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. That's that energy, that synergy, this moment. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe. And the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture. That time is wasting, and at the same time, it doesn't have to be. To find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. At some point, we are going to be an ancestor to someone else. How are you being called to change your perspective? Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you peace, I wish you love, and I wish you light. And thank you for being here at the Spirit of Beverly Bolden's YouTube channel. 1.